What's up, Glenn? Mr. Glenn Peters. Thanks, man. How's the football going? See if we can have a little better stream today than we did yesterday. More winning, less losing. Bobby is always happy when they're winning. I forget, who's your team? You're a Saints boy also? Bobby. Do you expect anything less from me? Hashtag kisses. Texas fan, are they ever any good? Ooh, that was close. So I'm still trying to figure out the adjustments. I'm guessing on this hole, side wind is -10. I'm thinking headwind when I'm close to max is just max. I played that at -10 and it came up almost short. Tailwind, when you just down into the bunker, I think it's wherever the club length is, -20. I got kind of close, but I don't know exactly on this one. Hit a nice shot. Glitchy. So you guys having a good Sunday today? A lot of football, relaxation, some family time? Up first here. Bunch of great balls so far. We need to fix this. Woof. Who's excited for Lego Masters? What's Lego Masters? Oh, geez. I'm assuming it's with specific Legos and they're building stuff. My kids might actually be into that one. And we're going to lose this one. Nice shot. Let's start with a loss. Can't win on that hole if you don't hit perfect. Katie, welcome. Thanks. Need it. Starting off bad. Nothing but great shots and a loss. Hi, Emily. Welcome. Thanks. Good. I need it right now. It's been bad since yesterday. Mafia. Good luck to everybody that is playing. Finish the season strong. Woof. Oh my gosh. Let's start hitting some perfects here. $7K last night. Congrats. $7K last night, promoting to the C100, getting yourself some balls today. Sounds like a fantastic weekend. $7K with no tourneys. You put in some serious work. Beating Pat is a little tough because he is a machine. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So it's more thinking like 3 backspin. Gave it a shot. Has a chance. Let's see what we get. Ooh, that was bad. Interesting. That was way off where I was intending to aim. Seriously, I do need to stop playing like Jared. That was horrible. That was so far right from where I was aiming. That great left definitely helped him. Bummer. And he won with a great left. Super. 0 for 2 so far. Great start, guys. Stop picking on Jared. Nothing but love for Jared. He'd probably beat me. Heads up. True. Oops. I know, Bobby. Send it, right? That's all you guys want. See, Katie, if you play him on 11, he's playing 12. There's your invitation. Move on up to 12. Conservative gets you to the shootout and a good chance to win, Bobby. Not all of us are as good as you. It's tough to be amazing at Golf Clash all the time. When's Bobby gonna start streaming? We could actually learn something from him. Okay, so we're looking about like maybe 6 rings. Yeah, it's gonna be iffy. Like I said earlier, I'm horrible at max overpowers. Just a little bit. Whew, got lucky. Need to play more like Peter Johnson. Power hook everything, blast it, send it, hit perfect from the rough and the sand, and win out. Dual devices, kill it all the time. Bobby, no one believes you because it's never been seen. Hence why you need to stream and show it. Nice. Nice shot. I felt like that might have been a little too much of an adjustment. Nope. The rough life of Bobby being clanless, no tour play, no coin obligation, doing his own thing. The life before clans. Let's see if we can get one this time. Started this just to help the family, and so far we're not. Let's catch a break here. Okay. 9-7, low wind. Let's see. Thanks, Dylan. Slow down. Dang. Those have typically been stopping very nicely, and the last couple times they've just been running long. Need a little more backspin. And another one in the books for a loss. You guys came to watch somebody lose a lot, right? We're just trophy dumping at this point. That's fair, you can always do that. Harassing is fine. Getting a good laugh at somebody losing a lot, that's fine too. I really dislike this hole and going right. Hmm. I'm just giving this a shot. See what happens. Close. Sit. Spam with "you're good." Oh, it's so true right now. See, I'm just hoping I get all the bad greats out and all the losing out now before the start of the tournament. You know, so the play dumb gods like shine light and allow nothing but drops on for the entire week. Same, I haven't played any of the new holes. I thought about it and then just never ventured down. Pete, you were so close last time. I don't know, I've seen a lot of videos of the new holes. They actually look fairly easy, but a lot of elevation changes, but it's always wind dependent. We'll see what they give us. I hope Playdemic makes it a difficult tournament. We're not driving greens again. Triple gold. Triple gold for Bobby. I can get down with that. Ooh, new one. tailwind. So this I know is 20 plus max. Bobby said to do 2 rings from the rough. Let's go 1 right. Let's try that. And great right again. 4.5. I think I did 4.25. Great right. Off to the right. Perfect. Would have been close, hopefully. Two right more cross than I thought. Ooh, he's playing it up there aggressively. 13.6, should at least be like 9.7. There's 5. He gets way up there. And curl. He gets the perfect. He's probably gonna sweep me on this one. Was my right ball better than his? We're on the board. Okay, that's what we needed. Yeah, Pete, it was still an amazing round, man. So close. It's gonna be your tournament, the next one. Golds for everybody in your gold. Actually, in your good. Let's just change it. Banners for everybody in your good. I'll take that. Just need 1 victory. Let's get a roll going. Let's make it into 2, into 3, and carry on. Ooh. Slight tailwind. Sit. Oh, unlucky. Bummer. Woof. 4. Don't know what it is the last 2 days. Maybe it's the new streaming, trying to coordinate everything. Perfects are not my friend. Anybody have fun plans for the rest of today? Or is it relaxing, family, football? Changing clans and sleep. How's the new job? Are you liking it? Are you liking the hours? Golf clash free. I'm sure your wife has been happy with that. Oh, this hole has been giving me nothing but trouble. I have not had a tailwind on it yet. I've had side and head, and each time it's been horrible. So let's see, we've got angled left to right. It's gonna be cat, max plus 20, I know that. If he has a 9 win, mine's probably gonna be about a 10. Let's try like 2 left, 1 back maybe. David Olson in the house. Great balls all day today. %, max cat, do half backspin, 1 left. It did land a little bit longer within the 20%, so I think I like that 30%, huh? Oh, still got the victory. Nice. Not by much. So you think 30%? Okay. Can get down with that, Bobby. Thanks, David. Welcome. Okay, what do we got here? Uh-oh, Bobby. 11.9 with a kingmaker. I'm sure Bobby wants me to send it off the cliff to the right. What is that? Fusion ball, max backspin, left spin. You think only a Zerk is needed? When it needs to be right to left, doesn't it, Bobby? Bummer. So what I typically do here is drive, whether you go left, right, is 20%. With this, usually I just try to bounce off this pad, get it way down there. With and then Nirvana should reach no problem. He's in the rough. We went second. Basically, it's just trying to get to the shootout. Like, you're not going to hold this out with your approach shot. He got a little unlucky with the headwind, but he should still be able to get there. Oh, now you say go with it. Don't say wind angle is wrong then, but go for it. I missed that. Cowgirl's gonna lose to Philly, huh? Let's see. Max basic ball. Not enough offset. So anybody in here other than Bobby looking to make a move up to tour 12? Anybody in here play tour 12? David, you started tour 12 recently? How's it going for you? Too much backspin. That was more sidewind than tail. Bummer. Well, yesterday and today has been nothing but losing, so not much to really see other than what not to do. What is it about 12 that's throwing you off? Do you make it to the shootouts, or are you just losing the holes? Do you go to the shootout and just lose the shootout? Are you close on the shootouts? Nice shot. Not even close. So 11-4 should be enough to send this. So we'll say aim for about the middle here. Max plus 10. Oh. You're good. Michael, you are good. Horrible good left. And somehow we still made out alive. Woof. The wind and elevations. For the shootouts or for the holes? Bobby is a Tour 12 beast. He's got all the hookups. I don't like going right on this hole if I don't have to. Some people with the tailwind, I think they can usually play 2 or 3 backspin with a little bit of curl and basically get it to sit. I've never tried it myself. I hate it because you usually need a lot of curl of any side wind or headwind on this, and rough and sand are hard on the right. But you can play it like that. I like going left when I have a tailwind. Like, if you just blast it down there, you will have the cat, you'll have the Goliath, and usually you can make it pretty easily to the green. 11-4. Where are we at? Max. Great, great, great. Great balls everywhere. Well, if it'll help, I can at least talk about what I'm doing for each shootout hole. And so if it's completely wrong, you'll understand what not to do. And if I get lucky, then you might have an idea when it comes to the shootout. Pretty much what I do, little disclaimer, I like to play T12 mainly with Titans. There's a few holes where I'll use a Kingmaker. Normally, yeah, I'm just going to try to take this hole and hopefully he misses. I've lost too many so far already. But I like to use a Titan on Tour 12. Occasionally it's a Kingmaker. But even when I go to a shootout, all my adjustments is if I have a Titan ball. So say I have a kingmaker on for a shootout and it requires right or left spin, max right or left, I only ever use the 4.5. That way I only have to remember curls for those adjustments. Because if you're using a Titan on one hole and you only get 4.5, you're going to need slightly more curl. And then say you have a kingmaker on that hole, on that shootout hole next, and use the max, like you're not going to use as much curl. I like to try to just simplify it and keep it simple to max right spin will always be 4.5 and the curl will always be the same no matter which ball I'm using. As Bobby stated earlier, I'm a very conservative player. It's rare that I will try to take risks unless there's a benefit for me. He's playing aggressive to that rough line. That came up short. So with my cat 6, usually I go about +2, about half of the blue, a little bit of top spin. I go back and forth. Is this max +10 or max +15? We're just gonna go max +10. And since it's going that way, let's just use a little bit of curl. The wind should push it. Not enough topspin, maybe need a little bit more curl. Came up short again. Again, what not to do. I haven't looked. Last I saw, we were down to like 5K, being to the cut line. I'll check after this hole. So if at all possible, I always like to go right on this hole. I play the drive max +10. I like to use basically max top spin and only 2 bars of right spin. By using only 2 bars of right spin, I can use max curl and I don't have to judge, like, do I need to come off the curl? And typically it works out quite well. So I like to just center this because the curl's going to pull it back. So we'll just push up at least 6 rings afterwards. There's 5, about 6. There's Now, if the wind was angled right to left tail there, I would have favored a little more to the left of the fairway for my initial setup, just because the wind's going to push in the curl to the right, and you'll get really close to that rough line again. But still, I just use 2 top spin and I still use the max curl. I mean, the 2 right spin and the max curl. I just got an update. Family is down to 2K, close to relegation. So let's see, max, min. Let's see, so we're close to min. Oof. Again, goal to get to the shootout and hopefully win the shootout, which we're not doing. Just been bad adjustments, wrong spins, great balls. Ugh. It's times like this where you just have to grind and you're not making headway. It's like lose 2, win 1. Great, I got cloints. Like it's really just about the cloints right now. I want to win. Okay, any wind direction I play this 40%. I love this wind direction, so I like to do the rough bump. 40% max. Start at the plus 12 line. 5 backspin. I usually go about like 1.2, 1.5. Then what you want to do is pull it back to the plus 7 and then make your adjustment. So we're going 15 4 rings. And hopefully hit perfect. Got it. And cross your fingers and hopefully it gets within 2 yards. Probably could have gone with 2. Side spin. Thanks. Anything on this hole, if you can get within 7 yards of the hole, you're typically going to win it. There are some people that can still play this bounce. Tailwind on this one is really difficult. Bobby can probably speak to this more, but especially with the Titan, you're going to adjust at least down into the cat range almost. With the Titan, he might get away with it with a Kingmaker. But then when you switch to a cat, you still have to do like plus 30 or 40 from the cat, depending on which one you have. And you have to take some of your backspin off, like 1 or 2 bars, which I usually forget. Like, this is horrible for him. Any other time, he would win this hole right out because that is a phenomenal shot. Let's pop this. Let's see where the family's sitting. Ooh, down 4 spots. 42nd, we're sitting what, 434? Yeah. Literally 2K. 2.2 for whoever's in 50th. It's gonna be close. bump and run. So any headwind, just max topspin, max overpower, blast it straight ahead. There's no way you're gonna make it to the right. When you get this, it's really just making it to the shootout. Don't mess up. Keep it on the fairway, get it on the green, put it in. Because holing out from the top down is ridiculously hard. It's going to be pure luck. What I like to do, and honestly I haven't done this for the Titan, for the Kingmaker, so I have on my guides, my notes, Titan ball, low, medium, and high winds. So with a Titan on tier 12, a low wind is in the 9s, medium wind is around 12.7, 13-ish, and a high wind is like 16, 16.5. So I always kind of know the wind strength. So this is like just under medium strength wind. I should still be able to max overpower it and probably get really close to the edge there. 5, 10. And then second shot, I just play this 40%, looking to get it close to the green. Okay. Let's see here. So if max is there, we're gonna be like down here at mid maybe. Go here. So mid plus 40, let's just go like 9.6-ish. And I always just do max curl and try to visualize getting it close to the pin. Not bad. I never expect it to go in. Okay, so this one's either going to be driver in any headwind and cat plus 20 in any tailwind. A lot of people play up where he is here. I don't know that adjustment personally. Like I mentioned last night, the majority of my guides that I've kind of pieced together from my research were from Tim Olson, and he played further back just above the min line of the driver. So you'll see mine different. This is a good shot, like max backspin specifically in headwind. You can play up a little higher. It gets tough if you have a very strong headwind if you're not using a Kingmaker, and you might be in like max overpower. The great thing that I like to do, being at the minimum driver line, is I will never have to overpower it. So if you can end up on the right side, just on the fringe, will be the shortest to the hole. That'll win. Anything under 7 usually wins. If you go long or off to the left, it's usually further. So I play no elevation on this with the driver. I find the min line, I move up just a little, and I play mid numbers, no elevation. So for this one, thinking like it's a 12 one, so like 2 backspin and 3. A lot of people like to use offset of curl to counter into the wind. I've just never done that. So mid is a 4. Great again. And we're gonna get lucky. Sit. So it's still gonna roll off, but it should be about 7 point something, 2 maybe. Oh, 6. 6 is good, we'll take it. So yeah, nice shot, even though I hit great right and or great left, and I still ended on the right side of the hole. So it just tells me my side spin for that wind wasn't enough, which was unfortunate. Thanks, great looking out, Pete. It's cheating. I'm sorry I don't have different clubs to be able to show you. I feel it is kind of cheating to show people and tell them, just do this, when I have like an APOC 8. Oh, sorry, 7. I wish I had an 8. APOC 7 when a lot of people still have APOC 6s. Some of the things you just can't pull off with 6 because you don't have the topspin for it. But I really like playing this count out of all 3 of them because it needs the clubs the most out of all of them. This only has 1 maxed rare club. All the other ones, my other 2 accounts, both have maxed rares and are just working on epics. I've only played this one other time, and we had a side wind. I think we're going to be safe with a headwind here. Let's see, we'll just go max topspin, max plus 10, which will be about 12. Ooh. Honestly, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't want to overpower it as much as it's indicating, because I think it runs out at the end. I think it gets a nice roll out. Oh, not enough. That sucks. Definitely use more in the headwind there. More overpower. This is where Bobby would come in handy. These are old holes that used to be on T12, which have recently just been reintroduced. I've only played this one in tournaments, so isolated wind one direction. That's all I really knew. So he got up there good. Being the short, we're definitely gonna have to go right and play the rough bump. There's no way I can reach. Yeah, especially in that. Ooh, are we even gonna be able to reach here? Dang. So we probably watching football. So there's 8, so we're almost to max. Let's pray we get on the fairway. Creep. Unlucky. Okay. Is the Saints game over? If so, he's probably on the honey to-do list. Saw someone do what? So somebody told me the elevation on this is just straight club distance, no elevation. We'll give it a shot. So let's see, max, min. It looks like it might be just under mid. Let's go just 40%. So let's just do 7-1. See how it comes in. Oh, missed it. So either there was a little bit of elevation there, or we should have played more at mid. Missed quite a bit though. But we'll be fine as long as he doesn't hold us out. Oh, B52-7. How I can't wait to have you for tournaments. The hole at +10, is that for the drive or when you're doing the rough bump? Ooh, close. Let's see, there's about mid, 25%. Let's just see what this looks like. Oh, wow. Crazy. Let's just see what happens here. That's glitchy. I'm not liking this, but I just want to see what's going to happen. Okay. %10 on all 3 attempts. Got it. Do that next time. It's just trial and error at this point with these holes, especially on the drives. So next time I know I have a headwind on this hole, it's max overpower. So this one, I like to do the rough bump. And let's just do, gosh, I feel it's gonna push it. Let's just see, one top spin, max plus 10. Ball guy looks like it's gonna be short, but I have a feeling the wind's gonna help us on this. So it definitely landed a little longer than expected. It looked like it landed at least one or two rings further than I thought it was going to land. Because we were aiming right about there, and I think we ended up halfway between that spot and the fringe. I think he has us. Yep. So maybe straight tailwind with that, since it pushes up like half a top spin would have been better. I don't know why he's emoji spamming, like none of it makes sense. Unlucky all over the place. Forget that. The last mini was these holes? I think so. Yeah, but they gave us like some sort of angled wind on the drive, so we got to get really close to the rough without going into it on the drive. The approach from the third hole on this was a cat, and you used a max power, a power hook to basically try to get it to the fringe. So this one, I like to go right. I use basically almost all my top spin, right spin. This wind angle is actually horrible. Typically I do the red ring here, but on this wind angle I go with the blue, and I'm looking for the double bounce. I will use a little bit of curl. I use max plus 20 even though we won't be at max. So this is like 9-1. And just a little bit of curl because I want it to come back. What I've noticed is if I put the red ring on there and I adjust the max 20, I can clip that rough sometimes, even with a perfect ball. So when it's an angled headwind from right to left, I just move it to the left a little bit more and add some curl. I like this because it pushes the limits to where you might roll down into the rough or sand. But what is beneficial is if we get a headwind the second time for the approach, I should be able to max overpower or get it to the green. Whereas if they fall back and do like a rough bump, rough roll out onto the fairway, they're gonna be too far back and they won't be able to reach. So like him, he's gonna hit this rough and get stuck. But if he would have rolled out, being this far back with a elevation adjustment that much with a headwind, you have to lay up like this. So normally I play this at plus 30. I feel when there's a headwind, because of the wind effect, I play at plus 40. And I'm just looking to get it on. So if there's 5, I'm gonna have to use some overpower. So 5, 10, 11, 3, we'll go 4 bars of overpower. Notebook. Roll out, not enough, just enough. I have Caddy. I typically use Notebook. I like the interface better. But Caddy sometimes has easier, the slider seems to be much easier when you have to like fine dial approach shots with like specific, like 68. I feel the Notebook can be difficult. I do like the fact that Caddy will list the rings, the wind per rings on clubs. So sometimes I can use that to figure things out. But 90% of the time, it's 99% of the time it's Notebook. I always measure out my stuff, so I know. So for here, like, I go min plus 10, so it should be 3.3, and I always like, I know I'm well under that, so that looks like too much to me. So I'll just move it back a little. But if I can adjust it min plus 10 and still be in the cup, then I know I should be good. And no, so that didn't work. Don't listen to me. The arrows I've tried. So I kind of build stuff into my drives and approaches. Any headwind. So if you were to plug in a number, say you had your sniper out and you were given a headwind of 10 and you use the arrow, you'll see that it wants you to, it adds so much on. Roughly that's like 10 to 15% more. So I just do that instead of using the arrow personally. Sometimes I felt the arrow gave too much of an over adjustment, and other times it was right on, but I feel I'd rather be slightly under adjusted by using like 15% for on top of like whatever my adjustment is for a headwind than using the arrow. But Damien's a beast. Like he uses the arrow for everything, and he's maxed the tour. He's a great player too, so there is benefits in the arrow. You've switched to the 3 myself on iPad, Caddy. I've thought about it. I just never got used to the slide over. I like having it on a secondary device, so it's just kind of always up. I know they have those alerts where it's at the top now, but I don't know. I'm just a visual person. Okay, 40% again. Nice, headwind. We will not be going for the rough bump on this. Yes, if you use the arrow, you definitely need to use the slider. And I still try to use the slider and estimate. It's difficult though. Ongoing battles. I'll roll down. So 11-4, it's about a mid. Got a straight headwind. Thinking like 1 backspin, so we'll always do our 4 right. Let's just do 1 back. This is kind of going back into the head. So we're looking at like 13 rings. Because we're curling back into the wind, we're gonna need more curl. I feel it's slightly. Great left. Let's just not clip the rough. Got lucky. Yeah, so you get it too, Katie. Like, sometimes it was 30% for that head when you're just like, that seems ridiculous. We had this hole once, so I think it was the mini also. I think the drive's like 10%. It's so narrow up there. So let's see. Let's just try to get it up there. A little more curl than I thought I might need just because we're curling back into the wind. And it was, get out, get out. Oh, come on. Close. Just slightly too much curl. So Katie, when you, so say it's your approach and you're lining up your ball guide at the hole, and you had a straight crosswind, do you offset the ball guide at all, or is your 10% calculated in, so you'll aim straight at the hole, whatever your club distance is, plus 10% with no offset? Bummer. He gets the roll out. Good for him. Let's hope he misses. 15-3. Oh, they're going to give him a straight headwind too. So let's see. There's about... pretty strong headwind. I think we're just over mid with a headwind. Oh, it looks like it's uphill too. Great, doesn't help. Would have been short. You do the offset versus the over, yeah. Yeah, I don't see how. It's interesting because you feel, I guess it's just where your first bounce is supposed to go with the arrow. So in a headwind, it drastically pushes you. So yeah, maybe a 30% over adjustment in a headwind. You just have to calculate yourself. I like to, yeah, never mind, rambling. Let's hope he misses. Another shootout. Oh, that's brutal. Wow, we've gotten this hole a lot today. 11.5, looks like a headwind. Here. Mid numbers, no elevation. Finally got a perfect. Let's see if we got our spins correct. Sit, sit. Nah, it's gonna roll off. Need a little more backspin. Under 7 though, good shot as long as he doesn't keep it on the green. Let's see. Looks like he's gonna play it similarly. Let's see. What did I do? I did 2.5 backspin, 3 right. So it looks like he's gonna go with the alternative method where you counter back into the wind. So what I think their goal is to get the ball guy just straight. They want it on the green, and then he should make his mid adjustment, I believe. So let's see, it should be 7. He went just under. He did like 6.5, and then he curls back into the wind to offset the secondary bounce effect. I think the gray ball is going to help him. He didn't use enough backspin, so he's going to roll off back. And we won that one. Yeah, I know what you mean. It seems like the arrows should account for the push from the side wind. Honestly, yeah, that's what I thought for the longest time, and so the arrows never made sense to me. And it wasn't until I finally watched more of Zach's videos that he said it's really just for your first, and you still have to take into account your secondary wind effect. So it's just getting you to land where you actually aimed for.
So landed is wide awake.
Yeah, Zach Jones. Him and Ian are the creators of the Notebook. He has a lot of good tutorials when it first came out. The one thing I don't like about Notebook is the values for the Endbringer are way off. Basically, I always play minimum numbers at plus 10%, and everything else like plus 20%, and that seems to be more accurate. There was actually something that Daniel MacArthur posted for his Endbringer, and I've saved that picture, and I use that a lot now actually. I haven't had a straight headwind on this one before. Looks like it has a nice little hill here, and it might catch that and roll. Looks like that went into max, so we're not going to do that. I'm hoping to come up short. Oh, you're a caddy. A caddy girl, huh? I probably would have ended up going caddy if I would have went gotten an iPad early on. I played on my phone for the longest time. Then I wanted, and then Golf Clash Notebook came out and people had grids. I debated long and hard between iPad and Droid. I ended up getting a Tab S4 and went Notebook and used grids for the longest time. It was much better than my phone, but I still wasn't playing as well. I still felt there was lag, and everybody raved about an iPad. I finally made the switch and I went iPad Pro, and it's the best thing I've ever done. iPad is any new generation iPad is the best thing for a golf clash with the minimal lag, needle jump, whatever. Pete's still here. Yeah, I know Pete, Jared, and Bobby all have iPad Mini 5s and love it and have had no issues. I know a few other people have the Pros, much as myself, and I've had no issues. Even when they've come out with new holes and there's been issues for other people on Droid or older iOS systems, like there was no issue. See, minimum. No, geez, way up here. So there's like mid. Let's go like 60. And great ball again. Push buttons in your simple brain. You joke that it's simple, but I think you're lying. Okay, let's see if we can get a different shootout. I feel like all we're getting are these Port Hello ones. Ooh, it's a side wind. Is that? I haven't tried it in this one before. I want to try it. We don't have as much tailwind, so I'm only going to go 4 backspin. And let's go 5. I don't know if we need to. I'm not going to do the pullback. Yeah, I am, just a little. This one probably went sailing. Got lucky. So initially I didn't want to do the pullback because with the other one, when you have the angled tailwind, you're pulling down into the bunker and going to a lower elevation. but you end up pulling back into these rocks, and it kind of gives you a more elevated elevation, and the tailwind pushes you a little bit more. This is definitely a side wind. Let's see how he does it. 7-9 for him. Oh, he has an APOC 6. I don't know the adjustment for that. But so back to mine. I felt I went to a slightly higher elevation by pulling. If you look here down towards the bottom, it looks like it's raised a little bit more. So I pulled back maybe, I think it was about a ring and a half, and got lucky. You got the perfect. You got the rough. Special. I can go with special. So this one, I feel the drive is a plus 10%. What you don't want to do is land up here at this, because it actually drastically slopes down and you'll end up far. So I actually pull back to where there's no plus yardage, about 3 topspin in this wind, and I always want to be on the left side, because if you look, watch the ball guide, there's a little mound here, so I always want it going that way, and if you end up in the rough over on the left, you'll go in. I don't play any elevation on a tailwind drive. On this one, I feel it's the over adjustment's already calculated in, because I'm not at true power 3 max. So since I pulled back and I wasn't at max, like I could have easily switched my notebook to basic ball settings, and then I would have played plus 10. And for this win, that would have given me 9 rings. But instead, I just leave the power 3, and I don't use any elevation on that, and it gives me a ring value of 8.8. So 8.8 versus 9 on a tailwind here at no plus yardage is equivalent in my mind. I gave you that game. Pete's giving away games. Pete, log on to 12. Give away some games to the family. Oh, is it Pat's Power Hour right now? 108, 160, 600. Fighting to stay. Max. Close. Played mid numbers. Just too much backspin. Only for this hole. So it still doesn't take into account if there's a true elevation. And so I think there is an elevation because this is slightly downhill. So for me, if I changed to basic, I would have to play plus 10. But say it was like a sniper approach or a cat or a Goliath, and you had a power 3 ball, and where you started was at no plus elevation, no plus yardage, I would use basic ball, but then I would calculate in and use a elevation change though on that. It gets close. I'm not I'm not as good as a lot of other people to like hole out approaches on a regular basis. So it works for me. My main goal is getting to shootouts and try to know the shootout better than the other person. It's also tough because, so say there was no elevation. A lot of times I try to factor in um, additional elevation, even though it's flat, for the wind effect. I've been trying to go back and forth between offsetting versus adding elevation, knowing that that's the offset built in. Okay, tailwind, 11.7. Thinking like 7.5. Let's go here. So I played this max plus 15, almost one top spin, and a full ball of curl. The wind was 11.7, so it was middle of the road. If it would have been stronger with the Titan up to like 13, then I start backing down the top spin to a half. Then if it's up to 16 miles an hour, then sometimes even no top spin. On tailwind like this, it's usually about one ball of right curl. If it would have been left to right, you do about half a ball of right curl. If it was a complete side wind, then I basically just go to that outer ring where the right of the ball just touches the outer ring. If it would have been tailwind with a right to left, then I curl it all the way. What do I do on that one? That varies depending on the wind strength. Usually at least a full bar ball, if not a little bit more. No. So do you do the over adjustment? Do you have a formula based on? I don't have a formula. It's trial and error and writing notes. If it's about 8 miles an hour of wind, I try to do about a square of offset. The only time I really truly do offset is if I'm trying to do like a max backspin thorn. It's hard to say. I'm hoping I can talk more about this like as it happens and things come up and try to justify my thinking. I think it might help me more than it helps anybody else. So there's two ways to play this. I hate going to the left because I never know how to play this. I always end up in the rough. You definitely have to favor the left side because the curl's going to pull it back into the fairway. You'll end up on the rough, the right rough, or you'll go long into the rough and just barely roll out. That was one thing I found out. This is tough because if you don't get the drive right and get down there far enough and end up in the rough on the left, it's hard to reach. He got down far enough and still be in the rough. As long as, even if he has a decent headwind, he should reach the green. You're not going to hole out. I just feel like you're going to be farther from the hole. Got a weak wind. So a 9.7 wind, we cannot reach up here. Let's just give this a shot. And let's make sure we get down far enough. So if I want to land here, I'm going to take my left side, the right side of my bullseye, and that's where I'm aiming. And we're going to go 9.7. Let's just go 9.4. And we're going to push up. And hopefully this is enough. Looks like we're gonna be in the rough too. So if this wind would have been stronger, about 11.5, I just max blasted off that right pad and get down there, and then we won't have an issue. So I like to watch my opponent too. So he has this, his is, I don't know if the Nirvana 9 has a better accuracy or not. We'll just say 10.8, should be like 8 rings. So he's doing 8 with no elevation, gonna push up. So he should land somewhere in the middle of the far fairway there. Let's see how no elevation works. It looks like it's slightly downhill, but he also has a tailwind, so it's gonna push it more. Okay. I think he had like 2 or 3 topspin. $11.9. He also had a kingmaker, I believe. So 6, 7, 8. Probably gonna be landing right around where that blue ring is. So let's go 8, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Getting way up there. Okay. Looks like we're clipping. Oh yes, Endbringer now. So Daniel's guide, what was it? For Endbringer shots, I believe it works for 6 and 7. I don't know how it works for 8 now. It should be the same because I think 7 and 8 are exactly the same. And we need to find our club distance. So there's max. It's about half. I'd say that's about min. I always like to use max topspin with my Endbringer. So I'll just play min plus 10. So right about there. So that's 2.5. So I always measure it out. I try not to ever eyeball and look back. So I'm just barely out of there. Let's see if it gets in. I hear a good dog. I wouldn't say good, but there is a dog. So I have yet to have a headwind on this one. It's always been sidewind and tailwind, but this might be the first, first headwind. So I haven't done this. So this is max plus 20, and whether you're using driver or I believe it's max plus 20 driver or wood. I haven't seen somebody use a driver from this first fairway. I'll show you the other way that I've been shown to do it, but I don't know the curl exactly. So, and we get the biggest win possible. So we got plenty of room. Gosh, I think this is gonna be max. Let's go max right, max back. I'm thinking blue ring there. Let's go clear ring. Gosh. I just feel max plus 20 is too much. Let's just go. I think this is gonna be too much too, I just don't know. And we're gonna go, so I went mid plus 20 and 3/4 curl. Wow. Well, we got lucky on that one. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. I don't know what the adjustment exactly is. So with that wind, so I put in max plus 20 at 16.5. It told me mid plus 20 was 14 rings. So no elevation on that, would have just been max numbers. Came in fairly well. I'll have to go back and watch that one. I like to save clips of early on when I was trying to make my own guides and adjustments. People that were holding out better than me, getting closer, I would save theirs and I'd go back later and like watch them and try to figure out like what they would do. I actually have so Katie, one of the things I use is a caddy. I have different bags on there for APOC 6, 7, different clubs to try to figure out to go back when people make great shots. So the wind is more left to right, so this is where I like to place the red ring, kind of by the rough, about half of the blue. Looking for the double bounce again. We'll go 13-4. Ooh. Close, got lucky. Used to do max plus 15 on that one. So that would have been 15 rings when I play 14. Yeah, that would have been good because it looked like mine came up a little short for the first bounce and far to the right, but that could have been from the curl. Max plus 15. Can get down with that. So this one with a tailwind or side wind, I usually play plus 30%. Oh, he's got a cat 8. Club envy right now. Club envy. Talking too much and not looking. I didn't see his spins. I like to, if they're going first, I like to watch their spins to see what they do. He was much further up though too. Go 3. So I need at least 4 rings. So we'll go a little bit of too much curl. Great ball didn't help either. Fair Midland from Untouchables. Yeah, he's really good. That's who you're referring to. He usually gets the better of me. So gold from a recent couple top 10 banners, 26,000, and a bunch of masters. The water hole again. Oh. Okay, so let's go mid plus 20, 15-3. Jesus, a strong wind. We're gonna go like half back, just because this is almost a max wind. And I feel like Bobby said to put the top ring at there, so this might be a little short. I think I'm supposed to put the yellow ring. Yeah, ooh. Wow. Wow. I have not figured this hole out yet. So clearly on this wind, we need to use more right spin to offset so we can start more left. He's still using the red ring. I don't know what the accuracy of the APOC is. Dang. Well, that's one way to do it. We'll get another shot, more practice. You guys learning what not to do? Okay. Almost a straight. So it's 11-6. Let's just do one backspin. It's already kind of offset to the left of the pin. I think the wind's gonna push it back because there's a slight left to right. And gosh, is this a max plus 20? Let's just try it. That was almost 11 rings. So we didn't get any wind push, but that could have been because I went max plus 20 versus... See what he does. He's doing 1.25 backspin. He's playing up there a little closer. It was like 8.3. So I think that was like mid. Nice. Let's save that one, and we'll have to see. I think he played. It had to have been like mid plus 10. Ah. He landed further back than me, but he also played up much closer. The yellow ring was almost touching the fairway. I think he had like half of the orange ring there. Uh-oh. Kids are waking up. Gonna have to cut the stream here soon. So, in headwind, I like to come back to the no plus yardage, because I know this is where I'm gonna land. So I go 9.5 plus 10. This wind direction, I like to do like 6.5 topspin. And it'll be about a half a ball of curl. So that puts me at 8.5 with a slight overpower, maybe like two rings. Just get up there close without ever going into the rough. So any headwind, I move back to the 0 plus yardage, usually about my blue ring touching the right rough. If it's a straight headwind, I use my 7 topspin or max topspin, whatever I can. Then I look to see if I adjust into overpower and usually knock off a ring or two of overpower. If it's an angled headwind, then it's usually about 6.5 topspin. If it's a right to left and I'm curling back into the wind, then I'll usually go 7 also on that wind. Straight headwind and the left to right is about half a ball. Anything that's more pointing to the left, then it's about a 3/4 ball. So this will be the last one. My kids just woke up. So let's see here. We'll go max plus 10. There's 9, so almost max. Probably didn't need the max curl. I prefer the max curl because I'd rather know that I'm going to be in the front of the green or on the green instead of behind the green in the rough. What's up, big guy?
Daddy, I couldn't find my baby.
You can't find your baby?
No, it's gone.
Is it over here on the ground by the chair?
Mom,
Absolutely not. It's my turn to pick a Christmas show.
no,
Sit down.
no,
You've never seen this one before. Are you ready?
it's different.
No.
I hope it helped. Sorry for the noise in the background. We'll finish this up. Hopefully we get... He should make this and we should go to a shootout and at least get one more shootout in. What time is it? 3?
Okay, let's see. I know.
I always check my landing spot because if you saw, there was like some sort of glitch sometimes like that. So this is one where I'm clearly not at min, but like min plus 10 is like supposed to be 2.4. So if I adjust 2.4, look, I'm still in the cup.
I just did this.
Whether I great ball this right or left, it should go in.
Daddy,
Yes, big
I
guy?
just did this.
Oh, don't do that.
As he laid down, it just did it.
You guys,
Like this.
okay. Daddy's gonna finish up here.
Where is it?
You guys are having way too much fun over there.
Dad, I have a
This is a
headache.
zero fun house.
Dad, I have a headache.
You have a
I
headache?
didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
Well, let me see if I can find it in here, because I didn't find the DVD.
Oh, I didn't even realize we were playing caddy.
It's raspberry. Yummy.
Look what happens. I talk too much, and we end up playing caddy from Hole Hunters.
I knew it. Boys, come here.
So again, cat plus 20. Usually always start at the plus 10 yard mark, and I favor the left side a little bit more. No, Pete, you're good. So it's not a true right to left angled or a true headwind, so we're somewhere in between there. These are the tough ones. So normally if there's a straight headwind, I do one left spin. This is the middle of the road, so I'm thinking like 2.5 and something like that. Let's see how we end up. Oh wait, that needs to be right.
Well, I guess
That could have been bad.
Karate food.
Karate Kid, you've seen that.
Yeah. Do it. Do it mine. I love the finger. No, those are a fun flavor.
Too much right. Probably could have gotten away with one. I don't know what his was.
That looks like dirt. Mountain foot.
I'm just gonna rematch him and forfeit, so we both get a win out of this. I do enjoy playing with Caddy. He's always been nice and kind. Okay guys, thanks for stopping by.